Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Way podcast, where we learn in English poco a poco or podcast by podcast. Today, this is an episode specifically for A2 students. Today, we are going to do a dictation, hacemos un dictado en inglés for present simple. Are you ready? Let's start.
Bienvenido al podcast de The Way. Si quieres aprender inglés y hablar con confianza, estás en el sitio correcto. Hemos ayudado a miles de personas como tú a mejorar su inglés y alcanzar sus objetivos. Visita nuestra web theway.es para conocer más sobre nuestros cursos online desde A2 hasta C1 y descubre cómo podemos ayudarte a avanzar en tu aprendizaje. Además, si necesitas una certificación oficial, también ofrecemos la opción de realizar el examen Language Pair cómodamente desde casa.
Okay, to start, let me explain some things in English and Spanish and Spanglish. So, number one, punctuation is very important. La puntuación en inglés es muy importante. You have to watch for capital letters. Capital letter is mayúscula. Full stop. Full stop es el punto al final de la frase. Cuando digo full stop, no escribes full stop. Tienes que poner el punto, ¿vale? And comma. Cuando lo digo comma, eso es la coma, ¿vale? So punctuation, very important. Number two, spelling is important. Cómo deletrea la palabra es muy importante también, porque cómo se suena y cómo se escribe no son iguales. Okay, so you have to be careful when you are spelling the word. But don't worry, you can go onto the website and download the worksheet. Al final de este podcast puedes descargar de nuestro página de web y puedes descargar the worksheet, right? Para mirar cómo se escriben las cosas, okay? All right. And finally, la última cosa, if you don't understand something, si no entiendes algo, just leave a gap. Puedes dejar un hueco, and when I repeat, y cuando repito algo, puedes poner la palabra después, okay? No puedes rendir. You can't give up, okay? So today, we are going to focus on the present simple, and we're going to focus on a story about a boy named George. Now, George is the English of Jorge, all right? So, es una historia de Jorge in present simple. Okay, how do we use the present simple? Let's do a quick revision. The present simple is used to talk about the things that we do all the time, daily routines. Usamos el present simple para las cosas que lo hacemos siempre, es el parte de nuestra rutina y los hábitos que hacemos día al día. También, we use it to talk about facts, things that are true, de los hechos, cosas científicas, las cosas verdad, cosas verdad. The things that are true. For example, the sun is yellow. Eso es un hecho, all right? That's a fact. So we use the present simple. The example I have for the daily routine is I wake up at 7. I wake up at 7 or 7 o'clock. I drink coffee in the morning. I drink coffee in the morning. Remember that if we use he, she, it, la tercera persona, the third person, para los verbos, añadimos la S. He eats, she drinks, it walks, right? Don't forget the S. And if you are in the south of Spain, students often forget the S because in Spanish, in the south, you don't always pronounce the S, so be careful, cuidado. Right, the examples, we'll continue with the same example. He wakes up at 7. She drinks coffee in the morning. And when we make negative, if it is the third person, todavía necesitamos la S, right? So decimos doesn't, porque does, la S está en doesn't, pero no decimos doesn't plays, solo tenemos una S en tercera persona. Decimos doesn't play, doesn't go, doesn't work. But for I, you, we, thee, why, you, we, they, we use don't. I don't go. You don't eat. Okay? So the example is, I don't wake up at 7. She doesn't drink coffee in the morning. Okay? Let's repeat all of those examples. I wake up at 7. He wakes up at 7. I don't wake up at 7. I drink coffee in the morning. She drinks coffee in the morning, and she doesn't drink coffee in the morning. Okay, so those are the rules. Esas las reglas que tienes que recordar, the rules of the grammar. Now we can start with the dictation. Get a pencil, a pen, a rubber, una goma, anything that you need, and then we will start. Okay, antes empezamos, voy a repetir parte de la frase 2 o 3 veces, que puedes escribir y escuchar bien, parte, hasta el punto, hasta el full stop. Cuando digo full stop, voy a repetir todo. Okay, are you ready? Let's begin. George lives in a small town. In a small town. George lives in a small town near the sea. Near the sea. Full stop. George lives in a small town near the sea. He wakes up. He wakes up at 7. At 7. He wakes up at 7 and eats breakfast. And eats breakfast with his family. With his family. Full stop. He wakes up at 7 every morning and eats breakfast with his family. After breakfast, comma, he walks to school. He walks to school. After breakfast, he walks to school with his friend. With his friend Daniel. With his friend Daniel. Full stop. After breakfast, comma, he walks to school with his friend Daniel. Full stop. George likes science. George likes science. And English. George likes science and English, comma. But he doesn't like math. But he doesn't like math. Full stop. George likes science and English, comma, but he doesn't like math. Full stop. In the afternoon, comma, he plays football. He plays football. In the afternoon, he plays football in the park. In the park. Full stop. In the afternoon, comma, he plays football in the park. Full stop. In the evening, comma, he does his homework. He does his homework and watches TV. And watches TV. Full stop. Okay. In the evening, comma, he does his homework and watches TV. Finished. We are finished. I'm going to read everything. Voy a leer todo entero. Okay. George lives in a small town near the sea. He wakes up at 7 every morning and eats breakfast with his family. After breakfast, he walks to school with his friend Daniel. George likes science and English, but he doesn't like math. In the afternoon, he plays football in the park. In the evening, he does his homework and watches TV. Well done, everyone. Muy bien. Hemos terminado. Now, I have comprehension questions. Tengo preguntas para ver si entiendes la historia o no. Okay? 5 questions. Question number 1. Where does George live? ¿Dónde vive George? Where does George live? Number 2. What time does George wake up? ¿A qué hora despierta George? What time does George wake up? Number 3. Who does George walk to school with? ¿Con quién anda al colegio? Con George. Who does George walk to school with? Number 4. Which subject does George not like? ¿Cuál asignatura no le gusta a George? Which subject does George not like? And number 5. What does George do in the afternoon? ¿Qué hace George por la tarde? What does George do in the afternoon? Okay, everyone, that's it. We are finished. Now, if you want to practice your present simple, you can write sentences about your routine in the comments, whether you are on Spotify or YouTube, wherever. Write about your routine and we can check that your grammar is correct. Okay. Y si estás escucho al final de este podcast, tenemos un descuento. We have a discount on our courses. Tenemos cursos en nuestra página de web y puedes poner POD20 como podcast POD 20 and you get 20% off y tienes 20% descuento en todo de nuestros cursos. Okay. Right, everyone. I will see you next week. Bye.
Si disfrutaste de este episodio y quieres llevar tu inglés al siguiente nivel, te invitamos a descubrir nuestros cursos online en theway.es, diseñados para mejorar tu fluidez y confianza en situaciones reales. Hemos ayudado a miles de personas como tú a transformar su aprendizaje. Visita ahora theway.es y realiza nuestro test de nivel interactivo de manera gratuita. Además, si necesitas una certificación oficial, también ofrecemos la opción de realizar el examen de Midterm cómodamente desde casa.